Hello, it is 7 o'clock on Wednesday, June 17th, and today is officially my Vloggiversary. Woo! I see I have a couple people, but everybody say hi and let me know who you are, and thank you for coming. So where should I start? Do I even know what I'm going to say? No, of course not. I'm totally winging this as opposed to 99.9% of my vlogs, which are scripted and you see like the third take, and I do no editing. Oh, Ava, thank you, Ava Wrights, for coming. I really appreciate you coming. Um, so yeah, I have been writing. Hello, Kelly Johnson. I have been writing since I was a kid, but I got serious about it in 2013, and that nano, I started the novel that I still haven't put down yet. That's on revision 8. But in the meantime, I've drafted 3 other books, like 20 some short stories, very, very little of which is polished, but you know, I've been writing, and I've been vlogging. Oh, Beauty Incognito, thank you for coming. Yay, people. So I started blogging, writing tips and writerly musings in 2015. Back in April, I celebrated my 5-year anniversary over there. But I realized just because I like reading long blog posts doesn't mean that's how everyone wants to like get their blogging. When a lot of us are sitting down, we want to be working on our writing. And so I started my vlog just to be my, as I say on it, my blog in video format so that people could listen or watch if they really wanted to watch me, but like could do other things while getting all the information and notes and musings and randomness that I put in my videos and my blog post. I know I don't close caption, but the blog has 99% of the content, so sorry. But yeah. So how long have y'all been vlogging? How long have you been doing like AuthorTube stuff? I was mostly vlogging into the void with like 20, maybe 30 followers for the first 2 years. And then last year, about May, June timeframe, I found the AuthorTube community. I was like, there's got to be a group. And how do I reach them? I knew about BookTube, but I hadn't found AuthorTube. And I'm not doing unboxing videos. And my to-read pile is that shelf you see behind me. It's not getting read down very quickly. So BookTube wasn't quite the right home for me. And then I found AuthorTube, yay! And I went from 30 some subscribers to, I think, as of today, I'm at 249, with, 30, 40 people watching each of my videos in a good week. Sometimes it's like 15, but not everything I talk about is interesting and fascinating. So I've tried to start like tiptoeing into the unscripted chatting videos, less informative. I did what I read the first month of pandemic, but I haven't really read since then, so I haven't done another one of those yet. but yeah. I usually join Sarah's live stream on Friday nights. Because that's a time I can do it consistently. I don't have my own live stream because all the slots are already taken, and I might as well join somebody else's and come say hi and hang out with everybody. So I found, thanks to AuthorTube, that I love writing sprints. Absolutely love them. Although for certain types of editing, they're less useful because I need longer chunks of time and more focus, but that's on me. I'm one of those people who can't really do background noise, like TV and stuff. I can actually write to playlists. I write to playlists, that's fine. But I can't edit to them. I need super focus when I'm in editing mode. I don't know why, I'm weird, but that's just how it is. So Ava Wrights says that they don't vlog or blog or produce YouTube content. They just like hearing other writers talk about the craft. Beauty Incognito says, happy Vloggiversary. Aw, 3 years. Wow. Yeah. It seems like it's gone by so fast, and yet it seems like I've always been doing these videos. Kelly Johnson says that he doesn't blog per se, sort of let it go, given that they would have to code it for their personal website, which I totally get. I totally understand wanting the control and to have all your stuff in one space, and that's totally fine. So, but I found that you know, video is helping me get over my nervousness about talking in front of people, even though usually I record so I can do 20 takes. But I'm trying to get more comfortable talking to people and sharing my own work. It's a very different sensation, both public speaking and then public speaking your words and your story, and something that you've put a lot of time and effort into. So I still don't share a lot of my novels online, but that's because they're constantly in flux. So I did get myself 3 pieces of chocolate to help celebrate, because if you've seen my NaNoWriMo post, you'll see that I bribed myself with truffles because they're delicious and I can. So but yeah, 3 years vlogging, 3 years putting myself out there and making sure that I'm accessible to people who'd rather listen to me. I have been floating the idea of turning my videos into podcasts so that there's an easier way to access them for people who just want to listen. But, you know, that requires actually editing, which we all know I don't actually edit any of my videos. So, yeah, it's a time investment, and I'm here to connect with other authors, but I still want to spend more time writing than I do making videos. And I already spend a lot of my time making the blog. I do like to say that the vlog, the video posts, are part of my editing process for my blog when I read through it. So when you go to the blog, you'll see it's, you know, in the same chatty format that I use for the video, because I have the words and the dialogue in there how I would naturally speak, not a more academic version or what have you, since that's not my style. That's not my brand, I guess. But yeah, so yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and I'm super excited to see what else AuthorTube brings me. And, you know, someday I will have my own book out there, whether it be traditionally published or not. It's going to be awesome. Oh, question from Johnson. When did you first realize or Kelly Johnson, sorry. When did you first realize I had a routine going? Well, I am a creature of habit. With the blog, I was pretty inconsistent for the first year or two. But once I started doing it regularly on Thursdays, I just never missed. And so when I started my vlog, I've been consistent. Every single Thursday for the last 3 years, there has been a new video, whether or not anybody watched it or not. Some videos went out into the void, never to be seen or heard of again, but they're still out there and they're still on my channel, and feel free to watch them. But yeah, I am a person who, once I have a routine, once I've committed to something and done it like 3 times in a row, I think is all it takes. And then it turns into something I do rather than, ooh, this new exciting project. You know, once is novel, twice is that was kind of cool, 3 times tradition. And now it's just, I am very motivated by not missing a week, because I haven't missed a week. And I have once or twice, because of extenuating circumstances, done a flashback where I replay an old video, but maybe twice, maybe. I don't like doing that. I like making sure that I have new content and new writing tips and writerly musings every week. So Beauty Incognito asks, how do I come up with my vlog ideas? I love going to conventions, and a lot of my vlogs are simply my notes. I will hit, like, I worked virtual Balticon this year, which is a Baltimore-based science fiction and fantasy convention. In a normal year, I will hit 25 to 30 hours of panels, and each panel is about 50 minutes, and I will take notes. And my sister jokes that, you know, it's like I'm getting my recertification for my writer cred. But then I'll spend the next 4 months, you know, sharing those notes. Sometimes I'll double up and do Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I only have so much time. And I know a lot of people live tweet or share their notes instantly, but I like to process and go through them and put them together, and that takes time. And I'd rather be writing than dedicate 3 weeks to, like, intensely going through my piles of notes. I'm not even kidding. I will fill like 90% of a notebook in a weekend typically. So a lot of my content comes from there. Some of my content comes from, I run 2 Facebook support groups for Pitch Warrior hopefuls, and I'm a moderator on the fantasy and science fiction writers Facebook group. And I'll see questions come through that, you know, maybe I don't already have a post on, that I have an answer, or if not an answer, an idea or a process that works for me that I want to share. Sometimes, you know, it comes from, oh my God, I can't believe this person is doing this thing. Here's a blog post. So a lot of that is from that. But my blog and my vlog are also sharing my writing adventure, you know, my journey to becoming a published author and hopefully beyond. And so I share also, you know, where I am in the writing process, what I'm personally struggling with, or things I've recently overcome. So Kelly says that they like that, and to call them Kelly. Ava says, I love how consistent you are with content. Thank you. I try really hard, and I really prioritize it. I kind of wish I prioritized setting aside that much time for my writing as consistently, rather than, yeah, probably Friday night and Sunday, and then I let other things eat up my time, which is frustrating. But, you know, sometimes you need to have the energy, otherwise what you're going to do with your writing is going to be lackluster. So I do try for consistency. I try to always work on something. You may have heard me gush about Trello boards, trying to keep straight so I don't, just because I have my own personal projects, I'm also reading slush for the Oddville Press, and friends and family send me stuff to beta read. And so I've started keeping track of all these tasks on a Trello board, just so things don't fall through the cracks. It's just like a basic to-do list with things in, like, the backlog, coming up, working on, needs reworking, and then done at that glorious done column. Not enough stuff gets into the done column, because you know, I don't know if it's fear holding me back, or high standards, or knowing that it's not going to get anywhere unless I put forward my best effort. But a lot of stuff goes through a lot of rounds of revisions. I query it, and then after enough rejections, which for me is like 5, I start revising, which I know I should be more confident in my stuff and put it out there, but I'm not yet published. So I feel like once I am published, I'll have a feeling for how much work and what level my stuff should be at. Where right now, you know, I'm a beginner writer. And so I don't know if my stuff is at level yet. I think it is. It just needs the right market. So Ava says they love Trello too, yay! And Ava also has high standards. I am still querying. I have not given up on any of my stuff. Ava says query it 500 times and write something new instead of revising. I have written new stuff. I have my love, my YA fantasy that is in revision round 8, but I've also written a middle grade contemporary short school play story that I just got beta reader feedback from, that as soon as my YA is back out in the query trenches, I'm going to be focused on. Probably for July for Camp Nano will be my take the beta feedback, put it into the novel, and see what big revisions need to happen there. I've also drafted the sequel to my YA novel, which is like 80,000 words, I think, but no point in revising that until the first book is done and not going to be touched. And I wrote a gender-bent Robin Hood adventure, fantasy, romance. I need to decide on a genre before I revise it, but you know, what if Robin Hood never made it back from the war and his half-sister Scarlet doesn't want to lose the family lands, so conspires with Marianne to take his place? It's super fun. I love the concept. I just really need to embrace a genre, a writing genre. So Ava says, awesome. They love it and it sounds fun. Thank you. I really like it. It's one of my most high concept. You know, I can say gender bent Robin Hood and everyone knows what's happening there, where a lot of my other stories are a little more esoteric and I gotta be a little more detailed when I talk about them. So Beauty Incognito says, sounds fun, embrace the genre, which is definitely something I'm trying to do. So plus last NaNoWriMo, I tried to learn how to write short stories, like pacing and stuff. And so I wrote about 20 of them. I've polished 2, one's out for querying and the other one needs to be revised one more time. Because I got some feedback that I thought was really useful, but I can only revise one thing at a time. I need to just knock it out and send it out. Ava writes, asks, or suggests, ask your alpha beta reads what genre they'd put it in and just write it how it goes. Oh, that's great. I usually don't send my rough drafts to anyone until I've gone through it once to like make sure it's coherent. But yeah, I should do that and then send it to my alpha reader. For those of you who don't know, I have a special alpha reader. I am an identical twin. And so I know not all twins are very similar and stuff, but for my sister and I, our interests overlap a lot, our friends overlap a lot, and our tastes overlap a lot. So when she reads my work, it's sort of like me reading it, only without having written it. So there's a lot of context and stuff I don't need to give her that she might miss that I didn't actually say, because she understands where I'm coming from so well. But she'll tell me if it works. She'll tell me if it does what I'm trying to do, which is awesome and amazing. And I really should do that right now before she gets busy. She's getting ready to go back to school and a bunch of other things. But if I can get it in there first. Thank you for the suggestion, Ava. So yeah, it's a really, Ava says it's a really cool twin perk, and totally right. I absolutely blatantly take advantage of it, and she is such a good sport. So yeah. It's absolutely great, and she's been really good about reading my stuff. So I've only made her alpha read my novels. I haven't had her alpha read my shorts, but yeah, we'll see if she feels like it. I'll reach out to her more maybe. Beauty Incognito says the world isn't ready for their twin. So as a twin, I would just like to state that I have very firm beliefs in clones' rights. As soon as the two individuals' experiences separate, they are two different individuals and therefore entitled to the same rights as anyone else. Why, yes, I am the second born twin. How did you guess? What is my favorite genre to write? Beauty Incognito asks. I am fantasy, 100%. I have a YA second world fantasy where it's just, you know, a story happening in a world that isn't Earth. I have a contemporary school play story that is completely fantasy. In it, whatever you read that you identify with starts to change your world around you. So I can't help putting fantasy in. And of course, anything with Robin Hood, I guess it's more of a fable. There's no actual magic, but it's definitely a fantasy. So fantasy is definitely my wheelhouse, I would say. I've done some shorts that touch on horror, but I don't have it in me to do a full-length horror, at least not at this point in my life and where I am. That can change, you know? I'm not going to be one of those authors that says never, you know? So Beauty Incognito says they'd murder their clone. Definitely the evil one. Well, I too am the evil one, but there's this thing about clones, or twins rather. When there's a good twin and an evil twin, it's a sliding scale. You don't have to be absolutely evil and absolutely good. You just have to be a smidge better than the other one. So I'm not sure on the absolute evil scale where I am, but I can tell you that it's probably not that far. So Beauty Incognito asks, is fantasy under its own or the sci-fi umbrella? Funny story, sci-fi technically is under the fantasy umbrella because it's just fantasy with futuristic settings and wrappings. Sci-fi lovers sometimes get a little cranky when you tell them this, but fantasy is just a game of what if the world was different? That's what it is. And so sci-fi is a subgenre of fantasy. You will see SFF, they're combined a lot because science fiction is a different subgenre and it's a really big one. So it's, you know, elevated to the same level, but technically it's in there. So fun fact that I learned and made perfect sense once I heard it. So I was really excited when I learned that. So, but yeah. Well, Kelly goes, bah humbug. I think I'm hearing a sci-fi fan who doesn't want to admit the truth. So thank you all for coming. It has been 23 minutes of me babbling aimlessly about my vlogging adventure, and I'm going to keep doing it. So thank you all for supporting me. Thank you all for coming, and I'm going to eat my chocolate now. Bye-bye. Assuming I can find the end stream button. Have a lovely evening, and I'll probably be on Sarah's live stream on Friday. Thank you.